Sandra, thank you very much.
All right, well, we're just days away from the Republican National Convention, and while the threat of Tropical Storm Isaac still looms over Tampa, a lot bigger issues at hand. Joining us now is Congressman Michael Grimm of New York. Congressman, it's wonderful to have you in studio this afternoon.
Great to be here.
Your first convention this will be. What are you expecting beyond the pomp and circumstance?
Well, I think it's going to be extremely exciting. First of all, for me, the invocation is going to be Cardinal Dolan giving the invocation. That's huge. I'm a huge fan. I think he's a great representative of New York and of the world, really. And then obviously, you know, Paul Ryan just coming on board as the vice presidential pick, I think is going to bring a tremendous amount of excitement to the room, the aura. We've been speaking about it a lot on Capitol Hill and throughout the district. So I think that's what people are going to be looking for. Some very, very good speeches, but also some real substance, which I think is going to be different than what we've seen in the past.
And Congressman, you're on the House Financial Services Committee. We have this fiscal cliff that's getting closer and closer. I mean, what can you say about this, and what will be said at the convention?
Well, I think one thing that has to come out of this convention is just how serious this is. Unfortunately, with the political rhetoric that's been going on for decades, people don't believe when, is one party trying to get an advantage over another? Is there really a fiscal cliff, or is this more political nonsense? Unfortunately, this time it's true. This is as real as a heart attack, and if we don't get our act together and start coming together as a Congress and really getting solutions passed into law.
Is the compromise there, though? Because the rhetoric you get out of Washington is ugly.
No, right now it's not. I mean, there's no question that we are completely polarized. But, you know, in all sincerity, and I don't want to bash the president. That's not what I'm saying. But he hasn't shown the leadership to bring us together, and he's actually done the opposite. He's divided us. So when you have the president of the United States who's leading, dividing everyone, it's very hard to get the Congress together.
You know what's hard, what must be hard, is energizing the Republican Party around the country at the convention, but then also speaking in the specifics into what needs to be done in terms of spending cuts and to, you know, avoid the fiscal cliff. So how will you balance that line, or what does the party need to do to be successful?
The party has to do, what they need to do is do exactly what Paul Ryan does. He breaks things down in very common sense, easy language that you can understand, and he's sincere. He's honest. He's not trying to play
You've worked
politics.
very closely with him.
I've worked very closely with him. I've gotten to know him, and I can tell you this: whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, if you get to know Paul Ryan, the more you get to know him, the more you're going to like him, because he's just an honest, sincere person. And
should we expect some news, some plan, a combined plan from Romney-Ryan? Because there was some criticism shortly after Ryan was announced as the Veep pick by Romney that here was this Ryan plan unveiled last spring, but we weren't really sure if Romney was on board.
Yeah. Well, what I think the first step is educating the public. I mean, a perfect example would just be Medicare. All you hear is about all this talk about Medicare, and there's many that just say, don't do anything, leave it alone. Here's the problem. Every member of Congress has been notified by the trustees that in as little as 5 years and maybe 9 to 10 years, because they don't know exactly, but between 5 and 10 years, Medicare is going bankrupt, insolvent. We won't have it anymore. So if we do nothing, then we're hurting our seniors. We must do something for future generations. So that's one of the messages that has to get out there, that we want to protect what we have for seniors, make sure they have everything that they're owed and everything that they've earned, really, and that they've been promised. But for future generations, this is not a sustainable formula.
For Mitt Romney, the presumptive nominee, what does he have to do in that big speech at the convention that launches the momentum toward the election? Because there is the criticism he's just not able to relate to some of the voters out there. What do you hope he can deliver? Well,
one, I think he has to draw on his personal experiences. He really has to hone in on being proud of his father's success, being proud of the opportunities and his own success. I mean, he is successful. There's nothing wrong with that. I was raised, my parents wanted me to be successful. My dad worked relentlessly, 3 jobs, so I could have an education that he didn't have, so that I wouldn't have to break my back swinging a hammer, and that I can go to school and use my mind. The American dream is alive still in everyone. If he can just tap into that and bring that out and show how proud he is of his father's success, his own success, because this country gave him that opportunity. Notice what I said. The country gave him the opportunity, but it was his hard work, his dedication, his own ability to be innovative. That's what makes or breaks, you know.
Isn't it brilliant that the theme of the convention is we built that?
Right, and I think that's wonderful. You know, I think that's
very clever.
It's very clever.
Congressman
Don't forget
Michael
the umbrella.
Grimm of New York. Your district
you.
is Brooklyn and parts of, or Staten Island and parts of Brooklyn. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
today.
Great to
Have
be
a good time next week. Yeah.
All right, delaying the inevitable. New